California's long been a leader in agriculture, but one crop that's never been commercially viable anywhere in the continental U.S. is coffee, until now. Jamie Wax has the story. Jamie, good morning.
Good morning, Anthony. The coffee market is estimated to be an $81 billion industry. Coffee is grown in more than 50 countries. And now, a farmer just outside Santa Barbara has the coffee world buzzing. The question is whether Americans will pay the same for a high-end cup of coffee as they would for a glass of that California chardonnay.
High above the Pacific Ocean in Goleta, California, referred to by locals as the Good Land, Jay Ruski has been farming the land for 25 years, growing an eclectic mix of tropical crops from avocados to passion fruit to dragon fruit.
So how many acres is this farm in total?
This farm is 42 acres, but about half of it is dedicated to agriculture.
It's a long 2.5-mile ride down this narrow country road just to make it off the mountains.
It's all precision.
So having coffee around the house is convenient. But Ruski has taken that to a whole new level.
This is our geisha coffee, and why don't you take a little whiff of that? You can.
Oh boy, wow.
This geisha was grown here on his farm.
It's a layered agricultural system.
Ruski and his colleague, Lindsay Mesta, showed us some of the approximately 1,500 coffee trees kept shaded by larger fruit trees.
You can actually see coffee blossoms forming along the stem here, and each of these flowers will eventually become a coffee cherry, which has 2 seeds in it.
Those cherry seeds are what we know as beans.
So take a coffee cherry and just pop it in your mouth.
Okay. It's very spicy. It's almost got like a mild pepper taste, and then there's a little sweetness to it.
That sweetness is what we need for a really good cup of coffee.
But the land in the continental United States has never been hospitable for growing coffee. Because the cherries mature faster in the heat, coffee is traditionally produced in hot climates. Adding shade or elevation slows down the process, but increases the quality.
Why do you think no one's ever tried it before in California?
The main reason is that there wasn't a market for it.
Now there's a new giant-sized Instant Maxwell House, a really big jar of coffee.
For decades, coffee was packaged and sold to the masses as an inexpensive commodity.
We make it a special way so you can save money.
Great coffee.
Beginning in the late 60s, companies like Peet's and Starbucks brought in a second wave, focusing on quality and the cafe experience.
In 2002, this third wave movement of coffee shops that had smaller roasters and wanted to know where the coffee is coming from, share the experience with the consumer, and the consumers were paying a little more for that.
So about 10 years ago, an audacious idea began brewing for Ruski.
When you started thinking about this and developing this, did people tell you were crazy to think of growing coffee in California?
Yes. It was a weekly event for people to call. I had to have people call on the phone, and it'd be the first 2 sentences. And they'd say, "Hey, you're Jay Ruski? Yeah. You're crazy. You can't be growing coffee outside." All right. It's rapid seed development for sure.
Okay.
This year, Ruski teamed up with Charlie Habiger of Blue Bottle Coffee, which operates 48 cafes in cities around the U.S. and Tokyo.
Looks like you're going to be ready to pick again in 2 months.
They're going to slow down and work on quality, and so we're really 8 months away.
Habiger travels 5 months a year, purchasing coffee in places like Ethiopia, Guatemala, Uganda, and Sumatra. The Northern California native had been tracking Ruski's path from afar.
Jay's Coffee objectively can compete with the best coffees in the world, right? So this isn't just support for the coffee because it's coming from California, but it is a strong valuation that we want to make on this market on behalf of consumers so that we can have that conversation with people about why coffee costs what it costs.
Blue Bottle purchased Ruski's entire 2017 crop, 300 pounds. We were there when the shipment left for the roasting facility in Oakland. It will be sold in blue bottles across the country for $16 a cup. Habiger says Blue Bottle is not just selling a cup of coffee, but the story of where it came from.
But for many American consumers, they just got used to a $3, $4 cup of coffee. For the average person, where does that land?
I think if you walk into a cafe and if you see, $275, $350, $450, $18, right? The first thing that you're going to need to know to make sense out of that $18 cup is why is it so expensive?
After significant investments in research and development, it costs Rusky approximately $30 a pound to produce, and Blue Bottle $65 a pound to purchase.
And if you drink coffee, and if you do have a couple of moments to reflect on where it comes from, exactly how it tastes, maybe why it tastes that way, if roasters are doing a good enough job of helping you understand it, then I think it's a really easy step to take.
All right, so this is my favorite parts, my kids' favorite parts, the bloom. When it's really fresh coffee, it explodes in bubbles, just like what just happened here.
It's nice, the whole ritual of the coffee making, the anticipation for the cup.
Piping hot.
Piping hot, very smooth, really delicious.
Rusky's new venture, Fringe Coffee, is working closely with farmers throughout Southern California to make the entire region a coffee powerhouse.
It's just like wine, if you have a really good wine crop, there are people out there that want to experience what you've been working hard on, and that's what we're offering.
When you look ahead, what does success look like to you?
Southern California is well known for having the most rarest and flavorful cups of coffees in the world. That would be ultimately successful for me.
And then you'd figure out another crazy idea, I think.
Probably.
Jay Rusky's Goodland Organic Coffee will be available at Blue Bottle later this month.
You'd think when the coffee came here, the price would go down, not up.
That's true.
I gotta say, Jamie, for $16, I want a dozen amazing donuts with that cup of coffee.
I will say it was possibly the best cup of coffee I've ever had. It was very, very special.
It's an
And
incredible
you didn't bring
story.
any free samples, I'm noting.
All right. I hope you heard us there, Goodland. So, yeah.
Jamie Wax, thank you, my friend.
Thank you.